discussing ways that Nebraska can grow its livestock industry and addressing the challenges that come along with that. I'm Alex Makovica reporting for the Rural Radio Network. Andy Scholting joins us now with Nutrient Advisors up in northeast Nebraska. Set the stage for us, Andy. Talk a little bit about the challenges that producers are facing when it comes specifically to zoning issues across Nebraska.
Sure. So we've got local county control in Nebraska, and what that means is that every county has the opportunity to set their own rules. And so as we work with especially young producers, young families who want to grow livestock, add livestock to their operation, bring the next generation back to the farm, one of our first steps is to go to that rule book for each county, evaluate what the rules are, where a livestock operation can be sited, go through all the things and help that young producer the best way that we can to plan for where and how they want to raise livestock. The challenge with that is that we see tremendous inconsistencies from county to county and even within the same counties in different applications along the way. So that has been a huge hurdle, adds a lot of challenges in the process.
We're at the AFAN annual meeting, and folks got to hear from two young families, one in Johnson County expanding with chickens and one in Cherry County expanding with hog operations. Certainly different scenarios, different counties they're working with, but compare the two situations. I understand you worked with both. What were those two families facing as they tried to simply grow their family and their operations?
Sure. So both of those young families faced a lot of opposition in their county public hearings. They also faced scrutiny in the process, and one family in particular had to redo their public hearing 7 or 8 times because of glitches in the process or things, public notices, Open Meetings Act laws that weren't conducted properly. And so that just adds a lot of stress, a lot of inconsistency, and really messes up a timeline. By the time they get through a 2-year experience, leaves them wondering, do we really want to do this, and is it worth the cost?
Play devil's advocate here. The community members who come in opposition, I imagine their biggest concerns are odor, probably traffic, and I guess what else are they coming at with in opposition?
Oppositions groups, come up with all sorts of things to be concerned about. It is truly fear of the unknown, and I sympathize with them because if there's not a consistent process, that leaves them to do their own research, to come up with their own approach. The reality is, if a operation is in A1 agriculture, that's the name of a zone in most counties, where counties have determined that agriculture is the principal use, then if people are choosing to live or build houses or live on acreages in those areas, they have to understand that agriculture comes with that decision. And livestock is part of agriculture, and so sometimes it's just a matter of education. And as much as I want to influence counties to be more livestock friendly and more consistent, I also want to encourage them to communicate with their people who want to live in the country, who come in and get a building permit for a house. They need to know what those permitted uses are in that zone if they choose to live there. And they need to make an informed decision as well.
You said something interesting too, Andy, and that was that perhaps some of the counties facing the most opposition are the ones where livestock is the driver. Speak to that difference, I guess, a little bit across Nebraska.
Yeah, so we've seen some really crazy experiences in very sparsely populated counties. Ranch land where cattle is king, but you start talking about hogs or poultry in a place where there's never been some before, it's change. And all of us, our human nature is to be concerned about something new. The fear of the unknown is real for all of us. And so it's part of the process is to be educated, to understand. And, I don't fault those people that have a platform to come and speak and ask questions, but as our county governing agencies operate on those boards, they need to be educated as well. They need to understand what their rules say and be prepared to make the hard decision to uphold what they've already said. These are our rules, these are our regulations, and we're going to implement them accordingly.
Well, your role, Andy, is to help producers trying to expand with livestock, kind of navigate this process. As you see this move forward in Nebraska, what are some important things you want Nebraskans to know about this process, and maybe what could help it be better?
Sure. The word consistency just comes to mind. I mean, one of the young couples here today They literally went through 8 public hearings and a courtroom full of opposition, and the exact same county just permitted another site just like theirs with no opposition. So there's just really a lot of inconsistencies. I don't care what county it is, what board it is, we have to decide that agriculture is important in Nebraska. We have to realize that livestock is the way that we can bring young families back to the farm, that we can make room for the next generation. We can't manufacture any more land, but we can add livestock to that land. And that's the way that Nebraska is going to thrive. We're positioned so well to grow livestock. And if we can all understand that and adopt that and embrace that, then we have to have a consistent way to grow livestock and add livestock to our counties. Yeah.
Andy Scholting is joining us with Nutrient Advisors in Northeast Nebraska here on the Rural Radio Network. I'm Alex Makovica.